Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Steve, welcome back to another live stream, and well, we're here on OverWatch 2, not for games, but for a casting session. Today we are live on Discord as well, for a tournament game. This is going to be Phoenix versus Purple Nova. I have up on my phone the YouTube chat, so I don't have to utilize my secondary monitor, aka my Chromebook. And we're just waiting for the games to get going. Also, just make sure that this is working properly. Okay. Just having to quickly restart the Discord stream. So on the side of Phoenix, starting are going to be Arctic Haley, Vernell, End, and Sir Fleesh. On Purple Nova, this is a team outside of Militia. So this is again for a tournament. They have Primal, Clover, Kyle, Flygon, and Ray. I believe that is. And substitutes we have Ping and Sleepy Alley. So that are your the settings. That is just them saying who are in what areas. So going from the top, going to be the tanks, then it's the DPS, and then it's the supports in that order. You have obviously myself, who's spectating for the side of Phoenix and Militia. I will not show Boris though. If Purple Nova are doing well, then I'll highlight what they're doing, but apparently we are looking over at the Phoenix squad today. With this stream, obviously, if you guys are wanting to join Militia, I will quickly put in the text channel the Discord. And the messages are in the pinned messages is the Discord for Militia. If you want to check out Militia's Discord. Whilst we're waiting on the start, and we'll quickly check over at this. Okay, we're just waiting on a few things here, guys, so give me a few. I think we're just waiting on final elements of this. This is where I now need to do 2 jobs at once. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, so it looks like there's not going to be any bans that I'm aware of. Looks like we've got a caster for the side of the organisation that is doing this tournament as well. But there's obviously myself in the box, and don't know what we're waiting for right now. We're just waiting patiently whilst we get going. I believe all teams are saying ready. Teams are starting to get impatient. We are 15 minutes over the the pushed back start time, guys, so I do apologise. It was originally supposed to start at 8:30 my time. It's now currently closer past 9. So guys, if this is a little interesting and boring, no, we're just... They had a production issue, and don't know what that would entail. Because our production over at Militia is very on board and ready to roll. I'll spec. Okay. Whilst we wait, let me... Whilst we are waiting on the game to start, we'll just go into intermission momentarily, guys. Right now, guys, we're just waiting on something. I don't know what it is that we're waiting on. There we go. Okay, on Oasis on City Centre to start off with, as I just get the game on for the YouTube stream. Again, we have City Centre here. Going currently look over at the blue team here. Once they have loaded in, they're going to be over on the home team. And looks like they're going to be going out the doors with a Freya Symmetra Brig Juno composition. On the enemy team, we have Primal on the Orisa, Clover on the Genji with Kyle May, Flygon on the Brig, and Juno from Delhi. Haley over onto the Tracer as the high ground is going to be contested first of all, with both teams looking at a early engagement as Haley goes in for a early flank. Already gets caught out by Flygon. Up to the high ground goes Fernal. Down goes Enstow, but taking care of Kylie does Arctic. So Fleesh goes down, no supports now for the side of Phoenix. Onto the high ground goes Arctic, but Dead Body goes down. The Spear Spin out from Primal. Vernal and Haley able to get out to safety of their team as first flip goes in favour of Purple Nova here. Up on the high ground is going to be the side of Purple Nova. A few charged up bolts there coming in from Vernel as both teams are going to be contesting with a single DPS. Now Kyle enters the fray, and Arctic now on point. Vernel up on the high ground of this in middle point on City Centre. As the flip is almost there, Kyle goes down to a headshot from Haley. Onto the low ground goes Purple Nova with their team. Gets caught out. Out goes the pulse bomb. Does not connect though, unfortunately for Haley. Primal goes low, goes down. Flygon already down. Down goes the Ray. Down goes Clover, and that is going to be the flip in favor of Phoenix at 50% for Purple Nova as we go on board with Arctic. Looking at to have a early engagement here with a potential Terror Surge. Here comes to Purple Nova. Over to the high ground is the Wrap. Looks like they're wanting to contest this high ground, but already going to be having this bowler strike, and out comes a lovely javelin strike from Arctic, but down goes and already caught out by Clover. Down goes Fleesh, no DP supports for the side of Phoenix. Down goes Rado. Arctic gets caught out as well as Haley goes down late with Vernell trying to contest to get even at 50%. Going to be 49-50% correction for the side of Phoenix, equaled up at 50% as the flip goes in favor of Purple Nova here. Purple Nova already looking up at the high ground. Wall is already going to be expended though for the May player of Kyle, as again Phoenix are going to be looking at this ground, and out comes the blade. Does connect with her now, but down goes Clover to a Terror Surge. Out comes the rally though for the break player. Kyle goes down to Haley as we're watching the main fight here on the side road. So out comes the late rally for end. Ray goes down to Haley. And out comes the aggression into the backline as the flip comes out at 95, 96. 97%. Out comes the Terror Surge for the side of Purple Nova. Takes care of Arctic. So Fleece goes down. Vernal does take care of Clover, but that's a little bit too late. Vernal takes care of things into their own hands. Gets caught out though. Takes the ball out of the engage as there goes the 100%. As the contest on point is here by Haley. In comes both Rays. Arctic getting the support that he needs. Both Rays, as have been contested there. Vernell on the Sombra now to help with the engage. Down goes Kyle to Arctic. The final fight is here. End goes down to Primal. Flygon down though to Pulsars by Sir Fleesh. Sir Fleesh with very time to Orbital strike there. Clover goes down to Haley. That is Flip going back in favour of Phoenix here. Ray going down late means that the percentage is going to be ticking up here for the side of IV Phoenix. Engage already in with a Cassidy now for the side of Purple Nova. Down goes End though already. As we're watching the main fight over at the doors, Pulse Bomb connects with Kyle, but Bray goes down as well. So Fleesh down, Azik down. Fight going in the favour of... correction. Fight goes in the favour of Purple Nova. Haley tries touching to stall out, but unfortunately not able to get anything done. And back onto Lucio. Goes down very quickly. That's 99 to 100%. Blade pull just so that they know nothing's going to be getting on point. So Fleesh goes down as well late as they try to engage that. 99 to 100, Phoenix looking strong, and Purple Nova looking slightly more strong on that city centre. As we go over to Gardens now. Still on this, Vanel now going to be still on this Freya, Surfleash on this Juno, Brig for End, Arctic on this Orisa looking strong on that Gardens, with Haley with the teleport over to the Tracer, making sure that all of the team gets to the point quickly. And it's going to be Farah for Kyle here instead of the Cassidy. As the fight is going to be looking for the high ground instead of the first cap here. As Kyle looks in for the early engage from the high sideline, does get taken care of by Vernell and goes down for their trouble though. Isaac down as well. Vernell follows suit. That's going to be the fight going in favour of Purple Nova. As Felicia also goes down to the Pulsars. Kyle back already from their early death. And first flip going in favour, as I said, of Purple Nova here. Up on this high ground, very strong position from them. Haley looks for a early engage and early flip. 20% on the board as the contest is in. But unfortunately, because it wasn't flipped, 20% becomes 30%. End goes down, so Fleesh goes down. Down goes Arctic due to not having any supports. Vernell has to deal with some poke damage, but ultimately decides, yes, I'm not going to go in there. Haley in the backline, waiting for any potential engage here. As we go on board with this Tracer player of Haley, pinging the Farah there, already has eyes on this Farah. Goes down to some HP, does Kyle for Purple Nova. On point is Haley again, trying to get anything done here. Looks for an early engage, sees the support line, sees the brig rally. Down goes Kyle to the Orisa with the assistance of the Pulse Bomb out. It connects with the support of Flygon. Down goes to in favor of Haley. A star-studded player, as always, is Haley. Primarily known for the hit scan characters, so the Sojourns and the Tracers. 90% though in favor of Purple Nova here, as finally the flip comes out for the side of Phoenix. Arctic goes down early to Barrage, focused on purely on them, but Ray goes down to Haley. N goes down to Kyle. Kyle goes down to Vernell. No supports in regards to Phoenix. Flip comes round for Purple Nova. Down goes Vernell. No contest able to be brought here by Haley. Final fight territory on this Gardens map sub-match as the Blade and the Terror Surge is contested. Out comes the Bowler Strike. Here comes the... but no touch! Purple Nova goes 1-0 in this tournament game. Purple Nova going 2-0 on this Oasis map, leading to one map advantage. We will probably go to a pick here now for Phoenix. I do believe that we're not playing with bans with this. Be interesting to see how Sir Felice, the captain for Phoenix, decides to change stuff out here. Phoenix has the map. I think Sir Felice is talking to his team, seeing where they think they can go here. The Orisa looked extremely strong from Arctic. Haley again, just doing Haley things. Vernell assisting with the Freya picks there. Unfortunately, does lose the map to Purple Nova, but both rounds, especially that control sorry, not control center, the city center looked extremely close. Unfortunately, Gardens looking a little bit more dominant for the side of Purple Nova. As we wait here for the response of Sir Felice. And we are going to be going to a King's Row picked out here. Hello, Mr. Rez. I see that you're in the audience. With the King's Row pick here, I expect a brawly type composition from Phoenix. I know that they are very heavily on that composition. And Purple Nova choosing to attack first. I believe there is going to be ban. Don't believe there was any bans for that first map. and they're going to be banning the Orisa. Sir Felicia, I know that you're in the audience. Do you have any thoughts on the Orisa ban here for King's Row especially? I believe he is not. Let me see if he wants to speak. Okay, so Baptiste, Cassidy, and the Orisa ban here. So, Felicia, welcome to the commentary box. First of all, your opinions on the Orisa ban here for the side of Phoenix. I believe. Hello? I think we just lost Uncle Reskin, unfortunately. Okay, we have ready from both teams here for the King's Row on second match. Sorry, second map correction. Again, currently Purple Nova is 1 point up, or 1 map up in this series. I believe this is a first to 4. I may be wrong. Okay. Going in here, also, again, Purple Nova choosing to attack first rather than the defend first means that they're going to be looking at how the team of Phoenix is going to want to defend here. Haley going to be on the Tracer like they were on Oasis, and on the Brigitte, Safleesh on the Juno. Going to be Arctic on the Ramatra this time. Vanel on the Freya. Who somehow I missed. There they are. And on the enemy team, it's going to be Primal with a Ramatra for what they're showing right now. Clover with a Reaper, Kyle on the Widow potentially for a first pick. No sights were given by the side of Phoenix, which is very well done as they switched to a May Lucio Kiri composition with the Ramatra and Reaper. Gonna be into hotel is going to be this very fast composition for the side of Purple Nova. Engage already on point as Arctic takes a lot of damage, a lot of focus, but Vernal gets the first pick onto Clover. Arctic goes down though to all the pressure of all 5 members of Purple Nova. Flygon goes down, Kyle goes down, Vernal getting another one, as well as Haley getting one of them as well. Re-engage looking here for Haley already underneath the statue, looking for a early position. Slow, the Vortex is going to be out already as the Freya comes in for Clover now instead. So they switched off the Reaper to the Freya. Going to be looking at the early poke onto the point. Point going to be contested here by Primal. Going on board with Arctic here as they attempt to make sure that this Ramatra is getting any semblance of pressure, but down goes Clover, but Vernell and Haley goes down, N goes down as well, since they were caught out, and Arctic has to come back off point. Split spawns here for Phoenix for the defense, unfortunately for them. As all of Phoenix is here now, welcomes out, splitting off Arctic from their supports. Able to get round it though, to not get too much ult charge to the team of Purple Nova. Down goes Primal though to Arctic. Here comes the aggression from Phoenix that they were looking to contest with. But now, Tellus take out Clover, switches to the Sojourn, their very known and most played character here. Off the Freya, goes Vernell, gets a pick immediately. Out comes the Kitsune Rush for the side of Purple Nova. Out comes the Blizzard as well, so 2 major ults there tested, but out comes the Orbital Ray, out comes the Bola Strike for Purple Nova. The Annihilation also popped by Arctic in the midst of that. Kyle does go down to a sliver of HP, does go Kai and Flygon. Sorry, Ray and Flygon. In the side room is going to be and making sure that they can stay alive here. Engage on point as the point is contested here. Wall comes out, does connect with 2. Out comes the rally, but unfortunately unable to do anything with that. Primal does take care of end. Out comes the late Annihilation into the backline. Does take care of Vinyl, and Sir Fleege. Haley's still in the backline and over in Tavern, looking at potentially trying to go for an engage late into point B. They have to do it sooner rather than later. There's Freya currently on point. Touches just in time before it does get to B. Arctic takes care of Kyle. We go on board with the tank. Takes care of Ray as well. So Fleece takes care of the tank of Primal. Team fight goes in favor of Phoenix, finding their footing on the point B as Arctic looks for early engagement here and early poke damage, attempting to get up their Annihilation quicker than the side of Purple Nova here. A lot of damage coming out for the side of Phoenix, but unfortunately, Arctic gets caught out by the wall. The Nemesis form pushed out. 2 kills for Vernal. Takes care of Ray. Ray takes care of Flygon. And I believe also takes care of the Clover as well before that. Lots of damage out, poking out here in the sides of Phoenix here. Also looking a lot stronger here. Nemesis form pushed out. Out comes the wall. Out comes the rush. Down goes Arctic. Unfortunately, Primal does go down to Vernell. End goes down though to Clover. Clover gets some fleece. No supports inside of Phoenix. Vernell trying to hit the hardest to stay alive. Vernell does go down though to Clover. Getting the 3-piece there is the soldier on. Haley on point to contest for a little bit longer, so they can attempt to stall this out, but unfortunately 4-1 is not a fight that you want to take. Haley goes down late, does get split. Out comes the Blizzard for the side of Purple Nova. Does only connect with 2, but that is enough. End goes down, Arctic goes down, so Fleesh goes down to the Nemesis form of the Ramatra. Point B now captured for the side of Purple Nova as they look at 1 minute 30 left on the clock to attempt to get point C. And the S's go in fact the refinery as an overclock pushed out here by Clover. Already gonna be the response of Phoenix here, not allowing anything, and out comes the Oversoul, out comes the beat though for the side of Purple Nova, connects with 4, out comes both Nemesis forms and Annihilations. Arctic getting killed though in theirs. Clover does go down, but 3 members down inside of Phoenix. Down only 2, so Fleesh, who has to go back to spawn to regroup with the team. Out comes the Rig Rally to contest point. Down goes Sir Fleesh already. Down goes the End. Out comes the overclock from Vernell. Can he be a playmaker as always? Unfortunately not. Does get taken care of. Haley last on point to stall this out for a little bit longer. Just looking for a pulse bomb, does not connect. That is going to be full distance with 25 seconds left on the clock for Purple Nova. As we look here at where the payload stopped at full distance with 25 seconds left on the clock. The attack phase now for Team Phoenix, IVI Phoenix, gonna have to be so much more dominant than their counterparts. Haley looking at the Widowmaker for a quick pick, most likely. Vernal on this Freya. Looked mighty strong. Haley over to the Tracer. On board with the Tracer. On board now with Haley. So correction, Vernal. Looking for an early engage is going to be the Freya. Sees the brig shield from the enemy tank of enemy support of Flygon there. Looking for any potential picks there is going to be Vernal. looking at any early engagement. It does take care of the Ray, but does take care down by Clover there, unfortunately. Arctic, without a secondary DPS, decides to take a back pedal for a moment, waiting for Fernal to come back. Sojourn on the field now for Fernal. Both Sojourns are going to be on the case here. Haley looking at any early engagement here. Onto the point goes Arctic. Fernal caught out by the Primal. Kyle goes down to Arctic. Arctic does take care of Clover. Primal goes down to Arctic as well. Down goes both tank. Down goes the tank. Down goes Flygon. That's going to be the clear up there for the side of Phoenix. A early engagement, early and decisive engagement as well, and a quicker cap on point A. Arctic getting walled out there. Has to push out the Nemesis form. Both Nemesis forms being pushed out there by both Ramatras. On board with Arctic we go. Annihilation in hand for both Ramatras here. Looking at the early engagement as well. Wall out for the May. Out comes the Orbital Ray. Out comes the kill onto Arctic, I believe. No, down goes Kyle. Gets all the help, does Arctic. Out comes the late Orbital. No, nothing else being pushed here. Out comes the Nemesis form. Out comes the Annihilation. Here comes the aggression. Haley goes down to Pulsar's Auto, unfortunately. Out comes the late Annihilation and a Overclock and tow. Takes care of 3. Does Clover make that 4 for the side of Clover and Deep and Purple Nova? Engagement already on the point for Phoenix here, as poking damage is going to be here for Arctic. Looks at the majority of Purple Nova here, has to back out momentarily. In comes the pulse bomb, does connect with Flygun's shield, unfortunately though, for Haley. Out comes the overclock for Fernell, looks for the Sojourn, rally out as well. Out comes the rally, hits Vernal perfectly. Arctic goes down to the shock grenade. Haley does take out Flygon, but down goes Surfleash. Down goes Vernal after taking care of the counter Sojourn of Clover. And comes the engagement already on to point again for the side of Phoenix. Looks out for the early engagement to go for here. A lot of time being burnt out here. Out comes the Blizzard. Does connect with Arctic. Does not get out in time. Goes down to the Blizzard. And the follow-up damage from the enemy tank of going to be Primal. Kyle does take out of Vernell. That's going to be the team of Purple Nova fending off Phoenix yet again. Down to just over a minute now, minute 10 left on the clock for Phoenix to get this push the payload to point B. Coming back down the streets is going to be this payload of the EMP device. Into the team goes the tank, and comes the orbital ray. This is going to be a lot of damage in regards to Phoenix and getting a lot of pressure here. Out comes the late orbital ray. Out comes the annihilation for Primal. Out comes a late Primal for Arctic, unable to keep themselves alive though. Clover does go down. 3 seconds left, and unfortunately, going to be Phoenix going to be going back towards spawn. 10 seconds left. Any contest here by Haley needs to be now to engage OT. Out comes the pulse bomb. Does not connect though. Does connect with the OT push. Out comes the the overclock. Does take care of two. Does take care of for now. So Fleesh. Kyle takes care of Haley. Down goes Arctic. That's going to be the team wipe in favor of Purple Nova as Purple Nova go 2-0 in the series. As we watch here, the triple kill with the overclock. Clover looking stronger than Vernal, unfortunately, there. As Phoenix yet again gets another map choice. I will be back momentarily, guys, whilst we wait for their choice. As I come back from being AFK, guys, well, let me just check if we have a map choice here for the side of Phoenix. You do have an intermission here as well for brought on by production. So give us a few, guys. Okay, we are back from our short little intermission. Phoenix have chosen Cerveza, Tracer ban. Purple Nova now choosing Dare ban. I'm intrigued with the Tracer ban since Haley's been playing a lot of Tracer on these last few maps. But we'll see what Phoenix are thinking here. Once we get into game. Well, it's intriguing that we've got a Cerveza with a Tracer ban here, as you do play a lot of Tracer on the sides of each team. With Okay, Purple Nova going to be coming from the right-hand side of the map. I do not know which orientation it is. And they are going to ban the Break and Ramatra on the side of Purple Nova. So let me just explain how this works. So the losing team gets first ban and map pick. The winning team gets two hero picks. Two hero bans, should I say. And they've decided Break Ram is going to be banned for this one. So we're going to be looking at the Orisa compositions with potentially a Juno Anna composition from both teams. We'll see how they want to do this. Most likely, Purple Nova going to be going back to the Orisa Lucio combination that they had on Oasis. And Pingo, who is the coach for Phoenix, saying their last ban decision of Juno. So 2 bans from each team, with the Juno out, the Break out, the Tracer out, and the Ramatra out. As both teams say ready. As we just wait here for a moment whilst we wait for the game to start. Both teams are ready and waiting for the go in from control here. Whilst we wait for the game to start. I'm just going to have a quick drink of my drink because that King's Road made my throat rather dry. Remember, kids, stay hydrated. Okay, we have the Cerveza matchup now. Nope, as my mouse is being extremely fragile. Looking here over at Team Phoenix, potentially going down 2-0 already. Going to be slightly affecting them with this matchup here. They're going to be primal on the Mauga from their engagement here. Haley on the Symmetra. This is going to be for TP. TP out. On the Genji. Both sides, Genji Sojourn. The only difference is going to be this Orisa versus Mauga pairing here. Genji's already having a duel under the camera. Kyle going down to suffer health, and Primal finds Haley and looks for some easy early support. TP out for Sir Flesh, and Haley takes care of Kyle. Sir Flesh goes down, and goes down. Ray goes down to Vernal. Clover and Primal getting a kill each. Vernal takes care of Ray. Clover takes care of Arctic. Down go to HP goes Haley by Flygon. Vernal takes care of the tank of Primal. Flygon goes down to End. Back on point is the Lucio. And Cap goes through for Phoenix in the meantime, by the way. Vernal goes down after taking care of Haley. Clover takes care of them, as well as End goes down as well. I do not know who that was to. I believe it was to the Kiri. Maybe. Engage here going to be on the left-hand side of the screens by Arctic. Out comes the nade from the soldier, making sure that the team is split up. But down goes Kyle. And being an aggressive Lucio there, on to point. 64% going to be in favour for Purple Nova here. Vernal takes care of two. Flygon goes down first, followed by Primal. On to point is going to be Clover, but goes down to Vernal. Is Ray. Then Arctic takes care of Clover. Being aggressive now is going to be the tank here of Arctic. Lovely space strike out. Out comes the rush for both sides, and the uninterruptible run there for the Magma. But unfortunately, out comes the beat and does not connect with Clover. Clover goes down to the Vernal. In the meantime, down goes the Primal to Haley and the side of the tank of Arctic. On to point goes the team, but down they go to Haley's Genji. Over onto Runes now for the team. As we look on board and go on board with Sir Felicia. Looking here at the stats momentarily for the side of both sides. So Felicia, Haley and Arctic staying up majority of the time. And comes the blade from Haley. Unfortunately, does not connect with anything. It goes down for their issue. Down goes two members of Purple Nova Dow. So first flip going to be in favor of Phoenix here. Sarafasa looking so much more dominant here for the side of Phoenix. As the grenade comes in from the Sojourn. Hailing out for Sir Fleesh. No need for Suzu here. In comes the Overclock. Now comes the Suzu. Down goes Haley though to Clover. So for HP goes to Orisa. Unfortunately, no follow-up. Kyle does take care of them. Flygon goes down to the Overclock of Vernal. Vernal goes down. For Sir Fleesh goes down. Down goes. And team fight going in favour this time of Purple Nova. As 47% on the board here for Phoenix. As they look for a 2-0 lead on Saravasa. Engagement already coming out. Thanks to the aggression of this Lucio player. In comes both Kitsune rushes. Both Arissa's having to take a little bit of extra time. Out comes the damage onto the enemy though. Endo goes down though to a spear strike. On board with the Lucio of Flygon. As it goes down, Haley goes down, her Fleece goes down, Vernell goes down. But Vernell does take care of one of the team of Purple Nova. 74% correction going to be in favour of Phoenix on point on this ruins map area of Cervasa. Out comes the damage into the backline, goes the blade in, does take care of Vernell, does take care of Sir Fleece, Clover with 2. Do they get the kill on Arctic? No, unfortunately that goes to Kyle. Runes captured by going to be the side of Purple Nova. Gardens now going to be the map side. As we go on board with Haley with a potential blade online here in a moment or two. And a reminder, this is a console game tournament. We're streaming through PC, so it may look a little bit more unnatural than normal, but that is because console. Out comes the kill onto Vernell. Takes care of the soldier on the route immediately. Beat out! Does connect with 4 full members that are alive of Phoenix. Beat comes out, connects with only 3 for the side of Purple Nova, but that's all it takes. Haley goes down after N goes down, and Sir Fleece as well. Arctic going to be attempting to get back to their team here as a lot of pressure coming out onto this Orisa. Early engagement already out. Overclock pops, force Kyle. Down goes Haley. Down goes Arctic as well. Down goes Sir Fleece. Kyle with a 3-piece overclock there. Lead now in favour of Purple Nova again. 56% and counting for this Purple Nova squad. Arctic down already to charge up rail shot from Kyle. Into the backline goes the tank of Primal. Does take care of Sir Fleece and follows suit. Followed by Haley, followed by Vernell. That's Gardens going in favour of this squad of Purple Nova. Palace now for this Phoenix squad, looking at the high ground here, potentially for this room. Out comes the nade from the soldier player of Vernell. In comes the Kitsune rush. In comes the Terror Surge. Lovely there. In comes the blade as well to assist with the clear up. 3 ults for the side of Phoenix. 2 ults on the side of going to be Purple Nova here. Only 1 on the side of Phoenix here. Alt charge looking and alt bank looking a lot cleaner here for the side of Purple Nova. On board with Arctic as the tank looks for early pickings. In comes the blade. Does take care of End. Haley goes down. Sir Fleece goes down. Vernell goes down. The Orisa attempts to get out. I don't believe they will be able to. No, they were unable to. They almost got out. Clover says no. A 50% lead on, 42% lead on this Palace sub area of Cervasa. Again, looking for this high ground is going to be Phoenix on board with the Kiriko as they attempt to keep up their team. Susie already put out. The Arista goes low, it goes down, down goes the Kyle and Ray, but unfortunately, correction, make that 2 for the Lucio of End. Takes care of 2 members. The team of Phoenix getting a little bit of points presence, and the flip as well goes in their favour. 80% and counting for Phoenix here onto Reversa to attempt to get 2 all on this map. Out comes the beat, hits all 5 members of Phoenix. On board with Haley. Out comes the overclock. Beat hits all 5 members of Purple Nova. Down goes their Sojourn, but I think it's a little bit too late though. Unfortunately, Team Kale comes out for Purple Nova. Purple Nova now looking at another flip, 99% in favour of Phoenix. Vernal with a 3-piece there. Clover goes down, then goes all of their team. Make that a 4-piece for the Sojourn player. Flip goes in favour of Phoenix there. Sorry, I had to take a phone call very quickly, guys. Palace goes in favour of Phoenix, now 2 all on the Cerveza map. Already a lot of pressure being put onto the Lucio player. And comes the blade from both Genjis. Vernal goes down, but so does Kyle. Both Sojourns getting taken care of, but Clover with Sir Fleish's death taking the advantage there for Purple Nova. Ed goes down, Adsit goes down, Haley finally goes down as well. Hart does take care of Clover, though. Team Phoenix are now looking for a re-engage via a flank here on to the side. Out comes the Kitsune rush from the side of Purple Nova. Out comes the overclock. So Fleesh down first to a spear strike. Unfortunately, on board with the Orisa player. Valsic here, Terror Surge in hand. 3 ults here ready for the side of Phoenix. TP in from Sir Fleesh into the backline. Out comes the Terror Surge, takes care of Vernal. Out comes the beat for the side of Purple Nova. Out comes the Terror Surge, does not connect with anything, unfortunately. Down goes Haley to Primal. Kyle takes care of Sir Fleesh. Down goes Arctic to Kyle as well. Down goes all of their team. That is a 3-2 on Cerveza. 3-0. Purple Nova. And here we see End being an aggressive Lucio player, getting a 3-piece on a boop there to take control of Palace. Looking a lot stronger there on that Palace map. I believe that is game and match. Nope, we still have one more. Yeah, because push is hybrid, not pull. Phoenix here choosing Rialto. It's an interesting map choice. It is in the pool for the map rotation. It is a interesting one here as well. Purple Nova getting the first pick of side of choice. They have chosen attack. Phoenix has first ban. Will they switch out to any other member of Team Phoenix here? To be honest, people Nova looking very strong with everything that they have done here today. Again, 3-0 we're currently looking at in favour of Purple Nova. As we wait for the bans to come through for both sides. I will quickly take some initiation and look at this. Uh, Nathan Hart will ride again. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to comment on that right now, Anthony. I'm just doing this cast. We're an hour and a half into it, into a potential 2-hour stream. So we got 25 minutes left for this. Okay, they're banning the Sojourn, which is interesting because Vernal has looked extremely strong on the Sojourn. On the Vernal. Yes, Steve. because that is words. So give me a second. With the social ban here for the side of Phoenix, it really makes me question what they're planning here today with this final map potential. As I just check the stage and all that lot. Making sure that there's no comments by people that are watching. There is none. Cool. The Orisa Anna ban. Phoenix get one more ban here, which is an interesting couple of bans from the side of Purple Nova, since they seem to be wanting to run the Orisa compositions. And Phoenix are banning the Ramatra. Which is, again, an interesting choice here for the side of Phoenix, but a little bit more understandable than the Sojourn ban. If you're just joining, we are currently casting a tournament for Militia, which is a esports community for games like Call of Duty, OverWatch, and Rocket League. I believe there is also Marvels in there. I may be wrong. I may be mistaken. But yeah, we're currently watching a tournament and casting for that. IVI Phoenix is the team for Militia, and the other team is going to be Purple Nova. On the attack first is going to be Purple Nova. As we look at the spawn room for the attackers, we will see what they are deciding to go with as we perch up on here. They're going to be going with the Winston, Genji, Lucio, Kiri, by the looks of it. Arctic on the Diva, Haley on the Tracer, Vernal on the Freya for the side of Team Phoenix, and end on his signature break, So Fleesh on the Juno. And Kyle on the Echo. Looking here over at the attackers spawn area as the game starts. Oops, that's what I meant to click. As we look at the positions already for each of the players here. Up on the high ground is going to be Arctic, looking at the early engagement potential here. Haley up on the high ground and denying this space for this Echo. Kyle's Echo goes down first. Haley getting that first elimination does help the team of Phoenix there greatly. Up here comes the dive into Arctic, but Arctic already getting lots of support here. Does have to get out to their supports and give up the high ground, but immediately up again up onto this high ground. Haley in the back line looking for this Lucio and Kiriko. End goes down as we're looking at that fight though to the Genji of Clover. Vanel goes down as well to Clover. Genji in. Mech down for the Diva. Baby Diva down to Ray as well. So immediately having to fall back to the further away spawn is going to be Phoenix here. So Fleesh stuck in the earlier spawn as well. Has to be killed to get out of there. Haley looking for some early engagement here. Out comes some bolts already from the Freya. Going on board with the Freya, in fact. Out comes the Genji onto this Freya of Vernal. Lovely kill onto Kyle. Bomb onto Primal. Down goes Fernaldo to Clover. Unfortunately, Clover, that's a break. Who has a Juno there for help. And that is Clover going down to Surfleash's Juno there. I'll take up on the high ground. Gonna be looking at them momentarily. Alrighty, with this self-destruct is gonna be Arctic. Up on the high ground is gonna be now Purple Nova. The rush out. Death onto Kyle, death onto Vernel, and end from the Genji. Teleport out from the Kiriko of Ray, but Flygon down. Haley does help there. Self-destruct in to get a remake. No kills there for the self-destruct, but primarily there for the exit strategy for the remake. Looking here at the engagement. In comes the duplication onto the Diva of Arctic here. Out comes the Primal. Onto point goes Arctic to attempt to stall it for a little bit longer. Vernel gets two. N takes care of the duplication form. Vernel with the follow-up. Does take care of another as well in the meantime. I believe it was Flygon that went down there. Haley goes down to Kyle's Fire, who's now into their backline. Into the front line goes the tank of Primal. The Faraday of Kyle going very low. Clover goes down low, but unable to get any follow-up there is going to be the DPS. Primal goes to silver of HP. Kyle goes down, so does Haley. Bomb comes out into the bubble. Gets nothing other than the bubble. Arctic goes down. Vernell does take care of Kyle. So Felicia goes down. N goes down. Vernell finally goes down as well. Haley staggers the point to get a little bit more time taken off this clock, but 2 minutes, just shy of 3 minutes on board for this team of Purple Nova as they look towards point C now. Defense Matrix being utilized by Arctic there to mitigate as much damage as possible for their team. 2 ults inside in regards to this team of Phoenix. Down goes Clover. Down goes Endo to Kyle. Down goes Arctic as well, losing mech early in the fight. Down goes Vernell. So Fleet having to back up. Gets to the safe distance. As round the last corner comes the payload into this final point of point C. Pulse bomb in hand, bowler strike in hand, potential of combination. In comes the barrage, in comes the blade. Blade hits one, and it is Vernell's. Out comes the pulse bomb onto Flygon. Goes down with that though. Arctic goes down. Out comes the B. Out comes the rally for and takes care of Primal with the assistance of Haley there. So Felicia takes care of Right. Off in Skybox is Kyle, looking for some early engagement and early picking. Unable to find anything. 1 minute left on the clock. Early engagement here with a Kitsune rush. Out comes the bowler strike. Does not connect with anything, unfortunately. Down goes Haley. Down goes Vernell. That is an auto strike late by Sir Fleege. But End goes down. Kyle does go down, though, to the orbital ray. Out comes the self-destruct again. Remake comes back in. Sir Fleece goes down late. Stalling on point is going to be seeing Phoenix trying to get this time whittled down to barely anything. Arctic loses mech to Primal. Into the backline goes the Genji. Down goes Arctic to Primal. Losing mech early was costly. End goes down. Venno goes down. Beat onto 5. So Fleece down. For Haley, last one on point to OT hold this, but in OT it's going to be the completion and no contest there for Arctic. But OT means that no time left in the bank for the side of Purple Nova if Phoenix manages to get to point C, with time on the clock. They have a chance of getting this round, this map, on the board. So it is not a 4-0. Quickly having a drink, so on the defense now is going to be the side of Purple Nova. For Genji, this Winston, as well as the Flygon, the Lucio, Ray, the Kiriko. Very aggressive comp, very aggro look here from the side of Purple Nova. And on the side of Phoenix, they look to be mirroring it, with the only difference being Haley's Tracer. which I thought was banned, but hey ho, let's not go there. That might have been my last match, actually. Up on the high ground goes Arctic. Looks for some engagement here. Vernal looking for an engagement here. Goes down to half health. Gets a lot of assistance there by the supports. Arctic going down to slip of HP. Has to get a lot of health from here from the supports. Into the backline goes Haley. Looking for any potential stuff on board with the Tracer. Finds the Kiriko! Again, this Haley, the first one to get a pick here, making sure the team rotates for the Tracer. Vernal follows up with Kyle. One support, one DPS down for the side of the Purple Nova team. 3 minutes 50 on clock here. As contest does come in onto point A. Clover goes down though, early. Haley having to get a health pack. In comes the assistance from the deep support of Flygon, but down goes Primal, down goes Kyle, but down goes Sir Fleesh to beat. Pulse Bomb comes out, well, does not connect. Down goes Flygon, Vernal goes down. Scrappy fight. Attic takes care of Clover. Spawn advantage here for the side of Purple Nova. Out comes Meat, hits free. Haley, Arctic, and hit by that. Flygon goes down, Cal goes down. That's finally going to be the points over in the side in favour of Phoenix there. Having 4 minutes on the clock to get to point B. Potentially going to have one fight, maybe two here on the side of point B. They do not want any more than that. Otherwise, they're going to be looking at a very costly point C attack here. Kyle looking for the engage into Haley, just doing payload princess there. Out comes the bowler strike, does connect, I believe, but unfortunately no follow-up there. So Fleesh goes down first. Kyle getting that one. Vernal goes down to Clover. Fight going in favour of Purple Nova there, as the team of Phoenix comes for a ringing contest, looks for the bridge, looks for the engagement. Purple Nova does not want to give them free ult charge, so decides to play it safe, play round the corner. Arctic misses, jump into the window. Into the backline goes to Genji. Beat hits all 5 members. Correction, it's 4 members. Down goes End, though, to Primal. Kyle takes care of Sir Fleesh. Vernal goes down to Ray. Primal utilizes Primal onto Arctic. Does take care of them. Haley in the backline, though. Where is this Tracer going? Pulse Bomb in hand as well for the Tracer. Farah looking for the Tracer player. Does not want to show their hand early. Blade already out. The deflect blade already out. Rewind already utilized by Haley. Arctic does take care of one of their team. Down goes Primal, down goes Kyle. Kaylee getting the follow-up after Sir Fleesh takes care of Primal there. In comes the Genji player of Clover, unfortunately goes down after Flygon goes down to Vernal. Arctic takes care of 2, but unfortunately End goes down to Kyle. And 2 minutes 50 on the clock here for Phoenix, looking at a better time bank here for this engagement. And in comes the bomb, does not connect, unfortunately. Vernal with 2 though. Arctic takes care of Flygon after being taken low by Haley there as we were on board with the Tracer player. Arctic looking for engagement here and looking for early aggro. Has to get out. That's a very tree, unable to get out. Out comes the continuing rush. So Fleece down, Vernal down, down goes, and that is going to be a team wipe for in favour of the side of Purple Nova. But 2 minutes left on the clock, and looking at where the payload is right now, that is extremely close to full completion. Just needs to play smart here. Does the side of Phoenix. In comes the jump from Arctic to get that information of where they're playing, where exactly this team of Purple Nova is. In comes the barrage. Nothing that Arctic can do there other than utilize Bubble. Bubble does take the barrier goes down. Haley takes care of Clover. Kyle gets taken care of by Vernal. Out comes the 3-man beat. In comes a lovely bowler strike. Plus bomb goes wide yet again. Unfortunately, Haley not getting any effect out of those. Down to just the tank on point, but unfortunately nothing that they can do. Down to a minute now. On clock. Down goes Haley. Down goes Kyle. Very scrappy fight on last point. Primal out for Primal. Out comes the blade for Clover. Connects with Haley, Vernal. And takes care of Clover. Arctic on point. Primal out! And on point as well to keep the tank alive. Rally out onto everything. Raids will utilize the orbital, but no one touches in time. Full completion. 1 minute 35 for the side of Phoenix to get to at least point A. 1 minute in the clock now for Purple Nova, as it was sub 1 minute. Purple Nova with a 1 minute time back means that they're going to be on the attack first here. And since it's OT rounds, everyone's going to have their perks enabled immediately. Clicking the tab immediately, we see Team Phoenix already choosing their perks. And we wait for Purple Nova to choose theirs. Looking at the stats from both sides of that up until point 2 and a lot closer this round for the teams. So Fleece getting a lot of value out of that Caracal. And no perks being chose here for the side of Purple Nova. Obviously not wanting to engage anything here. Go on board on with Haley, looking at potentially a early pick. Primal gets the first pick though, and goes down first. Up on the diagram is high Arctic, and so Fleece goes down to Primal. Arctic down to something tree. Primal gets a third. Haley in the back line. On board with a Tracer player. 10 seconds left. Engager in by the Winston of Arctic. Junior down early. Down to something tree goes to Genji. Genji goes down. Arctic goes down. Vernal down to Primal. So Fleece down. The only person left alive on the side of Phoenix is going to be the Tracer player. Haley. Haley decides, no, I'm not going to go in there by myself. Staggers a little bit longer. First point. Point A captured for Purple Nova here is a very big thing to happen. OT already engaged though. If Purple Nova step off this point or are killed, team wiped, then they only have 10 seconds to get back to point. Clover goes down, stick out to the Brigitte. That was the time for Haley to get that. That is where the bot is going to stay. Ends gets the final kill at the end of round 3. One second, guys. I've been running with desktop audio on all this time. One second, guys. And here we go for the round. Final part. Because the Caesar already for Surf Leash. Backline goes the Tracer. Clover takes care of the now. But now that goes down to Clover. Onto point and down to the final few seconds. It is going to be the side of Phoenix now. Haley takes care of Flygon. End goes down though. Someone needs to keep on this point. 10 seconds left, and so Fleece down. Arctic goes down. Haley has to recall. Haley down. And has to touch Vanilla onto point with a Sombra. So Fleece down. Last few moments of total T being capped here. And tries to beat, unfortunately, unable to. Arctic less on point. Unable to stay alive. Vanilla back onto point. Blade to keep this point from being captured. 4-0. Unfortunately, the 4-0 for the side of Purple Nova. The side of Surf Leash and his colleagues over at Phoenix gonna be very disheartened death, but unfortunately that's how the cookie crumbles. but that's all the time we've got for. Until the next one, guys. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, have fun. Bye, guys.